Hello everyone, it's Dominic here from Esports News UK, joined by a special guest today. It's Stephen, the founder of Mouseskins, which is a really exciting new peripherals, sort of custom mice company, UK based, got some really cool, interesting products, and I think it's a bit of a UK success story. So yeah, thanks for joining me, Stephen, and how's it going?
It's going really well. It's been a busy day. Sun is kind of shining with some clouds in the UK, so you can't complain when you wake up. Uh, and as thanks for the great intro. Success story makes me feel real humble. And yeah, I guess it has been a journey.
Absolutely, and I guess you're still quite new. You might not be super well known in UK esports just yet. It's almost like a success story. I see it as a success story in the making. When you showed me the mice and the things you're working on, I was pretty impressed. So I guess to begin with, Stephen, tell us a bit about Mouseskins
Yeah, of
and what you
course.
do.
We make some really cool mice. Seeing is believing, I feel. So one for the camera. This is one we designed with Brock Hoffer, or Brock Hoffer did all the art. The guy who did the Hyper Beast in Counter Strike, and this is my personal mouse now. I can't put it
Amazing.
down. But what we do is we focus on the performance enhancement of a mouse
Mm.
externally away from its sensors and clickers and all of that. So it's micro grip and detail. You get your airflow, so you sweat less. Um, and we have a range of different textures to suit different styles, and then don't forget the design, right?
So, are you producing mice as well, or are you basing
No.
these? People can get their own mice customized. So whether they have a razor or whatever it is, I have a razor Def Adder. Can I? How does it work? Do I send it off to you and then you customize it? How does that work?
That's the long term goal with the company growing, right? So at startup at the moment we've got our bespoke order process. So it's almost any mouse you can message us for,
Mm.
any bit of tech we can really customize. And you buy it brand new, it comes fully professionally fitted, permanent for life, and we keep to the warranty and all the regulations there. So if a sensor does go, you send it back to us. We'll organize it with Razer, for example. Um, and then we are moving towards, as we grow in the next year or two, we've got plans for we've talked to CEX in the past, and the companies that renew products, and there's a big push for that in the ecosphere of tech. So it's taking maybe an old Death Adder, like I've got a classic as well. I love its shape. It's if you fix the outside of 7 years of gaming abuse, then it'll work again, and maybe touch up the sensors and stuff. But there's companies there that fix sensors in mice and tech. So
Mm.
we're looking at ways that we can collaborate in the UK to revitalize some of that. But that's long term ambitions ahead there.
Yeah. So you have partners on your site then. So I could buy a new mouse on your
Correct.
site that comes with the custom. I say here's my design or whatever else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so mouseskins.gg, you can go on there and look at all the designs from different artists that we've collaborated with hardware partners, all the way from Alpine Esports to Yalla Esports in Dubai. We work with a few influencers, though we've not got around to launching their campaigns because it's wanting to do the best possible for them.
Mm.
Um, and so we've only just took on a marketing director and a development team a month ago.
Right.
And so what you see on Mouseskins now is what I've created with my partner and my apprentice, and odds and sods and help and advice, right? Um, and what we've now coming out is a bit of a polish up, a bit of a rebrand. We've got, as you say, we've got hardware partners signing up to work with us. So we've got Asus. I think
Oh,
some other
nice.
companies are coming on board. We're in talks with the top manufacturers in gaming, and I don't want to put say too much out there, but if they exist, we're in talks with them at the moment,
Mm.
and in the sense of to do creative projects for them, to work with their influencers, to interact with professional gamers, and to really create something special over just trying to push a product.
Yeah, absolutely. How did you get the first idea for this, Stephen? Where did this come from? Because I think it's such a like a. I think some of the best ideas out there are those simple ideas. You know, you look at the iPhone, how popular that is. Okay, you might think, oh, a smartphone isn't simple, but with Apple's approach, you know, it's simplistic, it's easy to understand. It's a custom mouse or a custom peripheral, but it looks really nice how you've done it. It's, you know, I'm guessing it's not easy to do that. I'd be interested to hear how you got to that point from your initial idea.
Yeah. I mean, it's not an easy process to do at the moment, and we're exploring some semi-automated processes that will speed that process up, because it's quite labor intensive at the moment when you're even doing the fitting. But fingers crossed, that should be a very airtight pattern, and that'll do us some justice at Mouseskins. But the journey, I can certainly share. I'll omit some key details and stuff for obvious reasons. But it's a funny story though, because you know, everyone has a good story as a founder, right? So I guess I was a very good cyclist. I did endurance cycling massively. I loved the tech in my bike, the materials it's made of, and different types of titanium and carbon all have their own benefits from feel, vibration, reducing strain, or feeling more of that, right? And so I was in an accident 2016 when cycling, just commuting to work. But you know, in unfortunate and fortunate events, you know, it's put me in this situation. I got to take a nice year or two out to recover, you know, like no work, no cycling, no sports, fully recover, take your time, and duly done, because now I'm a lot more mobile and I can go out and active, and I can travel to different countries and not have to worry about complications, which is cool. But in that process, so I went a bit stir crazy, cabin fever. You know, we've all faced our demons, and you know, from going to see some family, and I talked to my dad at one point, and he was like, "Do you know what? You've spent all this time running and helping people do businesses, make thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of sales, and why don't you just go do it now for yourself? Why not? Why wait 5 more years for more experience? And why don't you just give it a shot? Because what you got to lose right now?" And I was like. And then within 3 months, he just refocused my brain. You know, he pulled me out of that situation. Family's always a good one to go to when you're in a dark time. And yeah, so within 3 months, I got into my gaming again. During all this time, I worked with my brother on Warhammer Mechanicus. So I'm just good at getting things done. So I noticed during testing they didn't have voices for some of the enemies and stuff, and I was like, guys, it's 2019, we need to I want to help get some voices, if it's putting you in touch with actors that I know or something. And so we had that project. So I loved how the gaming industry works, right, from working with Warhammer to Calypso or Casado or whatever they call it these days. And so within my recovery time, I looked at my mouse and was like, my Razer Death Adder has been battered these last 2 years whilst I've been gaming. You know, when the outside coating starts wearing, or there's so much dirt on there it almost looks hairy, or whatever we do to mice. I've seen some pictures, and if you go and Google battered mice in gaming, you know, right? And so I was sitting there, I was going it still works, my sensor's still great, right? But I can't. It's lost its grip, it's lost this. And I was then I was on this mission, I was focused. I was like, how do I fix this? As a lunatic, I went 3D printed carbon fiber, all of this, right? And then I worked backwards. So I went for the extreme, the ideal goal. If I had £10 million to set this up, do additive manufacturing, where's the future of not mine and yours mouse maybe, but Taco and Simple's mouse and these guys' mice, where is the future of that, in Formula One, right? Every car's slightly different, everything's finely tuned. So Razer sponsor 15 bloody esports teams, if not more. Why are they all using the same exact mouse? Why haven't they fine-tuned it? Why isn't there modular sides? And that is the way hardware's trying to go, but it's a big process.
Yeah, and if you think of keyboards, I mean, it's a bit easier to customize, right? Because you can just change the keycaps.
Yeah,
there are lots of gamers out there that have amazing keyboards, really cool, unique things. You know, change the letters to abilities based on your main champion in League of Legends. Loads of cool stuff you can do.
Oh, the
Why not
artisan
mice?
keys and stuff as well. Like they're like 100 quid something for a key, but they're
Wow.
like so intricate and resin, and it looks like there's a whole scene of a beach inside the key, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's fascinating. And then like down to the rubber grommets in your keypad or a rubber pad to change it, or just getting the click right for your ears, right? And that actually on a performance level really makes a difference for two reasons. Is you've got your performance side, response rate, technology, spec. You've also got, with a keyboard, you've got the, when a golfer goes out wearing Gucci, he feels powerful, he feels more stronger. Go out wearing Primark, there's a psychological aspect there.
Yeah.
So if you equip your players with something, even if they think on a placebo level is tailored for them, better for them, empowers them, scares their enemy off, it's that battle chant,
isn't it?
Yeah.
And I've seen interviews where they say, well, it's about confidence, and if you can put a bit of doubt in your opponent's mind, you will do it, kind of thing. And the same goes for, I guess, appearance and customization. It's about making you feel like the most optimum version of yourself in a way, and being confident and happy.
It is. It's like where you saw, was it, I'm probably going to get the teams wrong here, but the team that had the Marvel license, I think, was it Team Liquid? And it's the same in a lot of other sports as well, where they change the livery on the car, try and change that rut or something. And psychology has a lot of impact on everything we do day to day, from efficiency and work to especially sports.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you have the mice, obviously you don't need to go into super detail, but
No, that's right.
you started with the 3D printing and experimenting. Do you sort of replace the casing, or is it clever sort of paint or something over the top? Is it something you're able to tell us there? Because it looks like you've customized the whole shell. It's not just a sticker. We've had controllers where you can buy stickers off the shelf. They're not, I guess you can do custom versions, but how does that work?
So I started it, I wanted to go through the journey with you. So I started at 3D printing and the additive side, and so I've got options there. We can go carbon mice, but there's the options where you want it to make it consumable, accessible, and my end goal is to bring top end tech down to the consumer, where was I when I was 18 and wanting to play or get pro, because that's where we start. We start when we're probably 13, 16 these days to go into these pro leagues, grassroots. So you need it accessible to them as well long term. I'm talking 2-3 years. That's where your average Joe will just be able to maybe get an add-on, or it'll be bought through the license with SteelSeries or Asus, or pick another brand, right? Like maybe Glorious, because they moved away from the cheese grater mouse. I always got to have a dig, I'm sorry. But yeah, so it's that evolution, right? And so I evolved and backwards engineered too. I looked at these D brands, I looked at these vinyl companies, and there's things there, right? Because you can buy like a £10 piece of plastic and stick it on, and do you know that's the same, that within that technology there's like thousands of different variations. So like on the cheaper end of the market, you see these companies that do the £5 stickers for your controller, and then on the top end of that you see Formula One teams applying material that makes the car more aerodynamic and more effective. And it's like, it's the same variable in technology. So we explore a variable within a material composite that wraps the mouse.
Right.
So it protects it. It goes around the whole object. It's disassembled, fitted by hand currently, and fitted with our process on the opposite side. It's we've got a few people trained up on it. It's quite, actually, once you know what you're doing and you know the process, it's actually really incredible how adaptable the products are. I think there's a lot of problems with mice when you look at customizing them, especially like on demand, because it's not like a guitar where it's the main wooden board or your electric one. You take off your electrics, you can dip dye it, you can paint it, and you can even spray paint it and then seal it with car automotive paint. But every little layer of detail addition adds micromillimeters on, which changes your tolerance of your clicks, which changes the feel of the mouse. if like we found that, so what I really like is the move. So whilst I was setting up G-Grip and all and doing all my research, I saw the move with Razer, Logitech, and Lizard Skins brought out their Lizard Skins worked with Endgame Gear to bring out their gamer grips, which I thought was really cool. I've always used Lizard Skins when I was riding and on my bike and racing and stuff. So they're like incredible grip, but it's chunky, right? So if you're looking to replace the rubber on your side of a mouse which has rubber, or you're looking for if your style suits a fatter grip, it's really good. It's like using a tennis racket. You're looking for that tack, right? But it's 5mm, like 0.5 millimeters thick, or 0.4 have got it down to for Endgame's recent launch. But you're still adding that on top of your click, which changes your press, which changes from your muscle memory at a professional level, right?
Yeah.
And so that was something we had to tackle. And then, you know, as you say, people don't want just something that sticks on top of it. They would, when it comes to that, they'd like it to be long term or all of this. So it was like, okay, we have to then look at the quality and the endurance of this, right? So we ended up choosing the protective layer and the science behind it is utterly crazy, right? It's like UV protected. It's got like silver weave. It's designed to be out in the sun and rain for 25 years. So, and in my head, I was like, gamers, sweaty, dirty, eating chips, pizza. Like I'm going, what was my worst day gaming, right? And I'm like, it's got to endure that. And then 12 hours and then 12 hours. Exactly. Grease, sweat, all the toxins that come out of us, you know, it's all natural and good, but it's where our hands touch stuff, and that's the oily surface, right? Like if you touch a chipboard, like a computer circuit with your hands, you're killing it. And so that's what eats away at the plastics normally on mice. So it protects against that, makes it easier to clean as well. And then we put a like a grip weave on the surface as well. So it's like a brushed metal or carbon at the moment. We're exploring a few other methods and ones for like big collabs. But again, we're talking a year down the line. So we're already planning for like 2023 already.
Right.
Because I have to keep my schedule free enough to live. I think that's been one of the key moments I've had to realise.
Yeah.
I can't just plough 70, 90 hours myself into this.
Yeah, understood. So yeah, tell us a bit, Stephen, about the pricing, what people can expect there. Is there, you know, a mass-produced version available yet, or what can people expect to pay? I guess you'll have different options.
Yeah. We've it's been like early doors. We wanted to keep it a luxury product. You know, I started this on myself. I've bootstrapped the company. One of the biggest fears was working with Alpine and some of the teams is 1,000 order drops through the door, and then I'd love the chaos, but I don't want to have customers waiting for a year because I'm having the chaos of setting up the facilities. So we launched with a luxury price, and it's around $450. And if you want extra customization, and that's like a brand new mouse, top of the range. Fact, actually, I have Fernando Alonso's mouse here. That might actually give you an idea of what one of our. So it arrives in a case kind of like this. Right.
Okay. And did you do this mouse?
Yeah. This is the mouse I did for Fernando. We're lucky enough that he was at the Miami F1 and didn't pick it up, so it came back to me. So I'm really happy about that. Thanks, Fernando. But it's going back out to him very soon. And then, so it comes in a IPS protected case, custom front, and then you get your bespoke death adder in there.
That is awesome.
So this was one of the 18 mice made for the 24-hour Le Mans.
So any sponsors out there want to sponsor Esports News UK, get a Dom Sacco mouse so I can get a death adder. Yeah, hit me up. That looks amazing, doesn't it? I'll have to get an Esports News UK mouse made. That's really cool. So obviously it's premium price, you know. I guess you're going to be going after in the future pro gamers or whatever, celebs like Fernando Alonso. I think footballers that like gaming and play Fortnite or whatever else, that is going to be a market for you.
Dom, you've hit the nail on the head. That's been, since we launched the website in November, that's been our niche, right? It's working with the pro gamers, working with the people who want an extra customized one, pure custom design, businesses that want to customize like lighting or customize their own tech, like we've seen. I mean, we've got our ASUS design competition going with Republic of Gamers at the moment. It's actually, unfortunately, just ended today.
No.
All the submissions are in. I saw 3 Clicks Philip, and ASUS have got loads of their entries in there. There was some artists entering from down in London, from graffiti artists to like fine painters. And so, ASUS reached out and we brought them on board. They came on board and they're really excited. So we kicking it off with that competition. And this is actually the phase 2 of Mouseskins now.
Right.
So we are working towards an update on the website, which is going to give more customizations, more brand awareness to our partners. So, and also a more cost-effective process, because we're just about to get a UK site for manufacturing.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because I was going to ask about that, where you're based or what the plans are. You're going to have warehousing or this and that.
Because during COVID, whilst we set up, and it's been all like research and we at the moment we do quantities of probably 25 to 100 depending on the collab or the collection and what people are looking for, and that's been Leicester based in the UK. We're all UK based at the moment. I have one of my techies is based up in Glasgow because it's COVID, right? It's all had to be remote work, which is really complicated for manufacturing. But it's allowed us to work on the fly and to get to this level. And with a combination of some incredible licenses coming up, ASUS coming on board, real support from the hardware partners, we're able to drive down our prices and got some really exciting stuff lined up for everyone. That's
brilliant. I'd love to get to the point where it is affordable. You have sticker versions or something so that people can go to LAN, can go to Insomnia Gaming Festival and bring their custom mouse with them, maybe in the future. It's like anything, isn't it, with technology. As technology increases, prices go down eventually.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's a combination, so we've got our consumer luxury product at the moment. I would say in the next 6 months, as the more brands come on board and our bigger collaborations are launched and this all happens, there will be some changes at Mouseskins on, more mass-produced versions, and then more one-of-a-kinds that are quite luxury-based still. So you can still own that one-of-a-kind Alpine mouse there's only one made, right? Like maybe they make another Finonzo one with a different design, and you could be the one who owns that, right? And know you're the only one.
Have you had any golden or sort of silver-plated mice? And does that add to the weight or whatever?
Do you know what? It was an interesting one. Someone asked me if they could do a gold-plated Superlight, and so I've never actually went through with it, but I've had the prototype done. So the prototype came out like 5 grams more heavier.
Right.
But we didn't do any weight reductions on the mouse. So if we actually can take the grams off the mouse and then we redo it, you'll have a gold-plated Superlight that's the same weight. Right.
Okay.
But you're talking super bespoke. Like I think that would be more ESL doing a trophy. We're talking 10 grand up front to go make your first 1 or 2 to sample, right?
Yeah.
There's a bit of work involved in doing that. We don't have gold plating services here, but gold plating plastic I definitely looked into because we've
that chrome effect.
I can do chrome effect, like I've done there.
Cool. Yeah, look at that. See, that's what I was thinking of when I meant gold. I mean, some people will want to flash and flaunt and have actual gold, but that looks pretty cool as an effect as well.
I was talking 24 karat gold plated.
Yeah, my goodness. That's for the real celebs of the world, isn't it? Who don't know where to spend their money.
But so this is actually the prototype I did for ASUS when they sent it over earlier this year, just to see if we could do it and work with it.
So you can have like parts of your mouse, different parts, different materials.
Oh yeah.
Sky's the limit.
So on the website, the customizer, I think it's only at the Death Adder, Logitech Superlight, a Zowie, and an Endgame mouse at the moment. But as I say, we've evolved that technology. You should be able to, or eventually customize your name onto the mouse as well, live on the website. You can individually change each section from each other, depending on what's available through our store at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've hinted at licensing. Again, the sky's the limit. Are you open to sort of working with brands and there's all kinds of things you could do?
There's actually so I alluded to our influencers. So we're in talks with like Slush Puppy, Go Bananas, Fuglet. All of them have been on board since like really early doors with G Grip Limited and then Mouseskins and seeing it evolve, right?
Yeah.
And the vision early doors was make them a mouse, get it out there, sell it, and they could make some revenue as well, because I want to support the creators more than making so it's not about the profit in a sense, but obviously we're all here to make sure we all have a living.
Yeah.
And in theory, I see a lot of influencers support their own communities. They reinvest money, giveaways, they give positivity back, and a lot of them are very mindful. So we pick our influencers very well and who we want to work with. We've developed and talked with these guys for a long time now to make a structure that's pro influencer, and it's designed to build you a community. It's, if you can think about it, any influencer should be able to sign up long term, make 50% of the revenue that comes out of it. How they want to split that between their community, giveaways, money put back into them, that's their choice. But it almost becomes their brand of hardware, so you could have the Dom mouse, right? And it's yours. You can go and promote that to your channel. You can sell that to your channel. You can not sell it to your channel and just do it for giveaways and keep it really exclusive for how you want to run it. You can use Mouseskins to leverage and benefit your company however you want.
So you're looking at partnerships there, and an influencer could buy, I don't know, 100, and then it's a limited edition.
Yeah, and it can be ordered on demand as well, because I'm young, I'm eco-efficient, I'm trying to keep all this very mindful. I work with plastic mice in a tech world, so I'm not doing we're not really positivity to the world on impact. So reducing every little bit counts, and I'd love to make 10,000 custom mice, but I don't want them to sit in a warehouse for 4 months, 5 months. I don't want to ship them from China, and I don't want my partners to deal with that as well, right? I'd rather it's all right, Razer makes their mice wherever, but all the work's done in the UK. It has a fast turnaround, or if we expand to wider into the US and Dubai, we can set up a facility there, so it's done on site. You don't have to wait. It's just local shipping, local work. And it gives back to, again, very community based. We can do more work if we have more regional. But it is all about building gaming communities, supporting the gaming communities, supporting Fnatic, supporting the esports teams in creative content, creative products, welcoming new players, connecting with celebrities, all of that, right? Like, how do you show a new pro player that they're special to you? How do you give him an advantage over his old team?
Yeah, it's great. And also, I think you'll be doing a favour for esports photographers. You're giving them something to focus on when they're taking photos on stage, not just the trophy, taking photos of, maybe pro gamers' iconic custom mice in the future, I think is pretty cool. And
I mean, yeah. How much do you end up paying for sponsorships on here and here for a jersey, and the amount of time that the camera ends up spending looking at the side of your mouse, like when they play. So mouse pads have gained some sponsorship space recently. The backer monitors get sponsorship space now. So yeah, when we talk ESL tournaments and stuff, you can, you could just have a sponsor wrote down the side of your mouse just to get the airtime, and there's AI that tracks all of this now, so it's utter fascinating to be able to interact with it all as well, and to talk with all the brands about how they track all of this.
Yeah, it is. And speaking of tournaments as well, you mentioned before we hit record you're working with a tournament in June. Is it the EMG CSGO tournament? I hadn't heard of that before, so tell us a bit about that and your partnership there.
Yeah, EMG is the like tournament organizer for it. They're in partnership with Star Ladder, who's doing the live
Okay.
streaming and push of the event globally. They've got Gamers Hub, who's like their local one,
Hmm.
and then the tournament itself is part of the uh, Get tournament, so it's the global esports tournament. So they've put £1 million up this year, I think, in
Oh,
total,
wow.
or $1 million. Sorry, I should need to work internationally now in money, right?
Hmm.
So it's $1 million. So this tournament in Dubai on the 9th is $250,000. A few other benefits, and the winners might get something special from Mouseskins as well.
That's great. So, but are you going to be sort of, how are you? How is your brand going to be promoted with that? Will you be making
Yeah.
mice or for someone
Yeah.
participants?
So
Yeah.
we've got we've got a niche collection because we were brought in on this not for mice. We were brought in for this for design
Yeah.
to do some clothing and the merchandise arranged to make it. I think what they didn't want to do is just slap a logo on a shirt and go buy it. It's an event top. They wanted it to be special. There's a big drive in Dubai and the UAE to bring sports and culture and arts into their environments to change. Like, we're all evolving as we're becoming a global country, right? A
Yeah.
world, because it's as easy to do business with Japan or China or wherever it is these days. Like we're talking now, even though we're both in the UK.
Mm.
I'm in Dubai next week, but it's only a time difference, and I think that's becoming more apparent. We work from home.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, there's a big drive in Dubai for all that culture. So they wanted to do something special. They knew I'd worked with Brock in the past, and I've worked with Yala Esports in the past. I designed their jersey.
Okay.
Um, Again, they approached me about mice initially, and then they wanted an opinion on the jersey. So I gave them
Mm.
my opinion, and they said, "Can you do better?" And I was like, "Probably." Um, I'll grab it actually, just for a quick snap it.
Okay. Yeah. Please do.
You've got this one here.
Oh, nice. I like the colours on that. The sort of blue, purple, and pink.
Yeah, got my name on it as
Oh,
everything.
that's awesome.
Um, so from that relationship, they reached out and was like, "Can we do something creative? Can we bring a bit of culture? Like, what's your input
Mm.
from the esports and gaming, and what design can we do into this? What's possible?" And then the casual thing of esports is it has no time to be done. So yeah, I managed to get Brock Hoffer involved. So the last 2 weeks have been working on some incredible art. Like, it is similar color set actually, because I think it's very indicative to the culture.
Mm.
Purples and blues and pinks, and then you've got this like hyper beast creation that Brock's put together, and it's going on like a t-shirt and some hoodies, and then we've got the staff shirts all in there as well. So
Mm.
it's bringing that hyper beast CSGO skin culture in.
Yes.
But also during this event, they've got anime focus, cosplay. They've got 6 performers, one from Naruto, one from my high school academia or something. Because esports isn't booming is in Europe, right?
Mm.
There's a drive there to build that as a sport there, and to build the culture so they can
Yeah.
ecosystem. So they're combining the events. They're bringing that culture into the local people. They can bring that the anime and the gamers and the geeks in with what we all love, which is our anime and some cool concerts. And then it's like, no, there's a serious CSGO tournament. This is what esports is like, and it's to really give that immersive experience. And I think they've got something real special that they're working on. And this is one phase from EMG and get to buy. There's talks of supporting future female tournaments,
Yes.
diversity tournaments. There's local tournaments like with little company, a smaller group of theirs called the Lab, where it's all grassroots, like our academies and the university teams, and focusing on the educational side, because I think that's really helped just in 2 years in the UK.
You've got, haven't you, things like the GG for All, ESL Impact, now these women's circuits in CSGO. I have to mention as well, we've got, the Saudi government, the Public Investment Fund, they now own ESL and Face It.
Yeah, that was massive.
More tournaments now taking place in, Saudi's hoping to have more tournaments. You've got, Dubai, UAE getting more involved. I know that in the UAE they were supposed to host a Rainbow Six Siege esports event this year, and it sort of there was community backlash, particularly from the LGBTQ plus community, saying they wouldn't feel safe going out there. You've had criticisms of people saying these kind of regions are doing this esports washing, where they're trying to, it's been a pro PR thing to cover up the poor human rights record. So what are your views on that?
I don't like human rights violations for first. I don't think anyone does, and it pins back to us all becoming a bit more global, right? Something happens in Saudi Arabia, it happens in China, it happens in bloody hell Ukraine's probably one of the biggest human rights violations at the moment. Sorry guys. But they're all pumping away at work and doing their job.
Yeah.
But coming back to it, I think the more that these things get brought up into the light, more we can deal with it, right? Like, we can't just keep quiet about the way women are treated in games, or the way that women are treated in general, or just take that statement back a bit. The way people are treated in general, I think, is a way we need to look at it. We're all human. We all speak, talk, look similar. We're all here to have a good life, and hopefully die happy, because it's inevitable. And I think in that process you gotta make friends with who you can, and you've got to be kind, and you've got to stand up for things that you care for, but you've got to know your facts. I think that's the hardest thing these days, is knowing and not acting on the wrong facts and stuff. And I think that's what I found a little bit insightful. I can't keep up with all the news, so I heard about the Rainbow Six fallout. Actually, me and Rami, at the guy I'm working with at EMG, he actually brought that up because we were talking to Ian Deadbird, one of the artists in Rainbow Six, and he was like, is he okay with it? And I was like, yeah, he's actually, he wants to probably tackle some of them subjects with you, maybe have an interview about it, and get into that grit. And Rami was like, hell yes, let's tackle it, because from there, they're an investment group. Dubai is run that way, and it is all a lot of personal interest. But the big goal there is they want to, find out where it all comes from, and tackle it, and to bring a light to it, almost like, they don't have a Channel 4 or a BBC. They don't have these. I don't think freedom of speech has been as big in it has over there, or the press, and that grows, and there's more social media, there's more influencers interacting, there's more access to all the softwares and same socials now. It's imagine if the UK has to change a regulation, if putting that personal reflection, how long does it take, right?
Look at loot boxes. They've been mucking about, talking about making changes for years now, and there's still no changes yet, but it may be coming soon.
Well, and that's the same thing, right? It's my interest is at the high level. If change is happening, if they're pushing for it, if the right people are pushing for it, and the news is not being silenced, then let's keep doing what's right in the world, and focusing on this. Sometimes it's maybe it wasn't brought to people's attention until it was in the news, and then it gets dealt with then, because then the powers that be, it's personal, and they can then tackle it. So I think the news cycle and the way these things are talked about are important. We all have to have that ability to go, oh, I'm not sure about this deal that's going on in a big world or company. I want to know that when I'm playing on Face It, that it's kosher, or stuff like this. If we put money towards something, we want to know we're supporting the right people, or it's not going into just someone's back pocket. We want to know that we all like that interaction and community now, and hopefully we see a lot more of that from a lot of these deals, because you think 10 years ago you would have never known who's buying that company.
People are more aware of things in this digital age, and they're talking about things more. So so thanks for answering that, by the way. That was a good detailed answer. This has flown by, this interview, Stephen. Could maybe tell us a bit about what the future holds for Mouseskins, or anything else you'd like to add.
So I guess the future of Mouseskins is come buy some of our products, give us a shout. start a collaboration. We've got some insane stuff happening this year. With if it's exciting, if it's a cool project, we can squeeze it in. And 2023, we've got lots of stuff happening. We have our automation, and I just look forward to people using our product and interacting with more people and teams, creating some cool products and collaborations that people can enjoy.
I was just going to say, actually, as well, reading through my notes, if people want to get involved, you've got your website. If people want to place a custom order or anything like that, what's the best way to do it? Is there like a form or something on your website?
Yeah, if it's something on the website that's a current design, you can order it straight through for any mouse. Just add the mouse you want in the custom field. You can view it on 4 different models of mice currently, but we make sure it works across. Otherwise, drop us an email if it's anything more than one mouse, and me or my marketing director will get in touch.
Perfect. Stephen, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I wish you all the best. I look forward to seeing all these kind of interesting designs in the future, and maybe, doing something with Esports News UK, or getting a sponsor, or seeing something in UK Esports. It'd be a great story to see if there's a pro British player that, is one of your customers and does something cool. Big personalities like Smooya or someone like that, I can see having a custom mice in the future.
Smooya, if you see this, hit us up. We'll definitely make an epic mouse.
Awesome. Okay, well, listen, good luck, Stephen, with your business. I look forward to following your story. And thanks to everyone for watching this interview. Please give Mouseskins a follow. And thanks for watching. I'll be back with more content, UK sports content, in the future. See you soon.
Thank you.